under attack. Need help.
Hey everybody, it's Chris, and I don't have any announcements this week, so we will keep this short and sweet. So on to the recap. Last week, Domash and Rats got into a bit of a fight over how to deal with hostiles. Kima, meanwhile, is still trying to avoid the authorities as she herself works for them to uncover where the missing doctors have gone to. After following a tip from the Kabarat police officers, the group makes their way to the Kabarat Port Authority and finds out that Dr. Arab Paqual and his group did indeed leave through the Elf Gate portal and head to Terhala Point in Ukalam a couple of days ago. After securing some visas from Dr. Muhali, the group jumps through the portal. Will they land in a heaping pile of dog crap? Find out right now.
We're going to the jungle.
Right into it.
Welcome to the jungle. We got the jungle.
We've got jungle. You've got jungle.
Can I talk about my cool stuff that I bought?
No.
Yeah.
I bought a plant shield amulet, and it creates an energy field around me that... Where did Chris go?
He went to the bathroom, I guess. Just keep going. I literally turned around, saw him where I went, and he kept talking. I'm like, well, I'm not going to stop.
I turned to look at the thing, and then I turned back, and Chris is gone.
He can walk through plants. So
I took him.
Oh, no. I'll give back the amulet. I'm sorry. Give me my brother back.
The GM of this game took Chris.
The game of life.
GM of life, yeah.
Okay, so... the plant shield amulet generates an energy field that lets me repel plants. So I can move through plants as though it wasn't difficult terrain. And then I don't take any damage from non-magical plants.
It's just an amulet that says Roundup on it.
I don't get that.
Welcome
It's
back.
a weed killer joke.
Oh, no, he's back.
Okay. Roundup, like the weed
The
killer.
weed killer
Yes,
Roundup.
that.
I also got this cool belt called a redundancy belt that magically creates duplicates of all of my organs. So I gain a bunch of bonuses.
Even
on
your
stuff.
brain?
I guess. I have two brains
So that would be
now.
like your intestines and everything, right?
Yeah, it said something
It
about
said it magically rearranges your organs to create space
That'd be
for
painful.
Also, your brain
Yeah.
goes into your butt. And
Yeah.
then
one of the brains
One
goes
of the
in my butt. So nobody else bought anything cool?
nope, I didn't.
I was already set.
Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah.
I was set
expend
before-
any resources while we were in Where was it? Kabarat?
Kabarat.
Kabarat.
You were thinking ahead
Kabarat.
with where we're going. And,
Yeah, we're going into
yeah.
the jungle. I bought a bunch
Yeah.
of jungle stuff.
I got some
Jungle
off.
bug,
I got
yeah.
an off clip.
Jungle Book.
I have an off clip on my hip.
What
You know what?
does that
Hell,
do?
mosquitoes. That's where I was going with that.
Oh.
No one was listening.
See, both of our jokes fell flat. So
It's all right.
It's fine.
I'm used to it.
Me too.
Oh, I didn't think you were.
How many credits did that cost?
I play like I'm not, but I'm
10,000. I'm
Wow,
broke.
That was a bad decision.
You took out a loan?
Yes.
That was a bad purchase. Okay, so we went through a portal, and now we're in the jungle boogie.
So you went,
we're at a
We're like
town? City?
yeah, you went through this portal, and you're looking around at just this beautiful vista. Keep in mind, you're a few time zones back from where you were in Kabarat. So it's probably about 11, 12 at night, and you're just looking around at the fields of the tall grasses. There's a full moon, so everything's kind of like bathed in that like lunar light. It's got a glow. Yes.
hate.
Wouldn't that be the case if we went forward? We went west. Or is it spin the opposite direction in Castroville?
I'm told it's very late. It's later than from when you were
Oh,
in
then
Kabarat.
Castroville
So,
probably spins opposite of Earth.
spins like Venus.
I
Fun
hate
fact.
getting portal lag when you travel. It's
Yeah, it sucks.
You're looking at the fields, the grasses, and you see kind of like these bioluminescent creatures, bugs floating, and it's just real beautiful. And then as you kind of collect yourself and look around, you realize you're kind of like in this all, like, I wouldn't say like glass. It's kind of like glass, but it's definitely not a glass building, like something like stronger, like transparent aluminum. just surrounding you. So this gate is inside of a controlled area. There's some person standing over in the corner who's monitoring the gate. And when you look outside, you see like a guard tower overlooking the whole field. And this is kind of the flavor of what you see. You kind of have this, not massive city, but it's kind of looks like this, where there's tall skyscrapers, and you can hand that around. There's tall skyscrapers, and a very modern-looking city, not quite as large as what I'm showing you there, but surrounding all of it, there's like this big, huge wall, probably like 20 feet tall. And there's definitely a clear divide between the wilds of the field you're looking at and Alex is licking the picture and the city. So as you're looking around, taking all this in, you realize, well, we're in the wilds, but there's still a little bit of civilization here. And as you're standing there in the portal way of the gate, you see somebody come up through the doors at the front of this building. There's actually a group of like 5 people. And one guy walks up to you, and he extends his hand, and he's like, and I'm going to butcher my accent that I've been working on all week, but he's like, "Hello, my name is Dr. Kar Al-Nawaf. I am from Kabarat University, and I am a doctor here, and I was told from Professor Mohali that to expect you. Can I please be of assistance?"
More nerds.
What was his name again?
His name is Dr. Kair, Khair, and then it's this last name is Al-Nuaf. And he is probably about 5'10". He's human. He's got dark black hair and a beard, and he's beaming, he's smiling, he's just trying to welcome you. And he extends his hand, he's like, "Welcome to Tahalo Point. I understand that you have some business from the university."
Yeah, Rats pulls up his data pad that he's been working with, and he like flips through a couple of screens and gets to one that has like a picture of Dr. Paqual, and he holds it up and he's like, "Yeah, we're looking for this guy. Have you seen him?"
Yeah, I have seen him. I'll tell you what, how about we go back to our offices and we can sit down and chat. Maybe I can give you some refreshments.
Rats is like, he looks down, he's like, "Are you going to ask us to do stuff for you?"
Absolutely. Okay, I'm coming into my accent here. Absolutely not, man. That's what I'm going for. It's Jamaican.
Hey,
Absolutely not, man.
I definitely thought it was French at first.
Right.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be French, but I cannot do the accent. I practice all week and I suck at it.
No, that's a lot better.
I thought he
You're
was
getting
going
it.
for Belter for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
No, we will not ask you to do anything. We just want you to come back and feel comfortable here.
Hey, man, we get to go bombastic, yeah. There's a tree snake. That was my stomach.
Whoa,
Oh my god.
that was impressive.
That was. I do my best. I don't know what that was.
Sound effects provided by Ryan Stomach.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'm a little parched.
All right, so he opens up the door and he allows you guys to kind of go through. And as he's walking down, you're kind of like up on an upper hill, kind of overlooking the city a little bit, but it's not like you're up on a mountain or anything. And you're walking down and he kind of points. He's like, "Have any of you ever been to Tahalo Point?"
Yeah.
Probably.
That's how you left, right?
I assume so.
So as you're walking along, he's kind of like, yes, lantern folk. Yeah.
What'd you call me?
That's our word.
He points all 4 of his appendages at him.
He's got a gun.
So you are sort of a homecoming for you.
Yes.
Dr. Al-Nuaf is kind of like, well, let me tell you a little bit about this place as we head back. This used to be a military base, and after the truce was signed about 30 years ago, we turned this into more of a research facility. So I'm here on behalf of the university to study the wildlife here in Ukulam. And about this time, you make your way into the building. He puts out some refreshments for everybody, and he says, so let me see that picture again, please.
Yeah, he's still got the same thing up on the screen.
So he's
he
looking
holds
at it. So he's looking at that picture, and he's like, yes, they did come through probably 1 or 2 days ago, but they did not spend much time here. They came in and they asked for some supplies, maybe some maps of the area. They talked about going to see some ancient elvish ruins to the northwest, but they didn't give me much more detail than that. I tried to speak to them, but they were pretty hush-hush, and
made their way out of here pretty much as soon as they got into town. If you've got any more information on what you're looking for, any research, I heard that there were some doctors from the university that were kidnapped.
Yeah, they were with this man.
That's why we're trying to find him.
I did see a couple doctors, but I'm not familiar with a lot of the university peoples, but they did not look like they were in very good health. Very groggy, very tired. I don't know what it is, but...
Maybe they looked a little kidnapped.
Well, it's
Or taken.
hard to tell, because we have a lot of people come through here, and they're scientists, and they need protection in the wilderness. And so it's not unusual to see a group like this come through. There's a lot of armed Lashunta. I mean, they look like mercenaries, but it's not uncommon for scientists to hire them, because they're the only ones who are willing to take the risk out there in the wilds. But perhaps if you have any more research, maybe I can point you in the right direction where they're headed.
We've been after more... Well, actually, Albions had sent me his findings on the information we left with him before we went through the portal.
He did send you some stuff, and you found a little bit of info on Dr. Solstarny's computer as well.
So what was the information that he had sent over? Brain Man.
So Brain Man sent you a lot of this Halquim Zon's notes. Now, Halquim Zon, if you recall, was from explorer from like 300 years ago.
Yeah.
Seemed to have some people who liked him, some people who didn't. So a lot of these notes show like the general path that he followed when he came to Ukalam. And he is very flamboyant, he was very self-centered, really about building up his own ego, which a lot of people kind of, are turned off by that, especially scholars.
What was his race? Lashunta?
Lashunta, yeah. And there was actually some audio logs that were also included in this, so Dr. Anawaf is like, look at here, we got some audio logs here. And he proceeds to play it, and you hear... Castrovel crawls with vermin and beasts of all kinds. Thunder-bellied behemoths clear paths through the jungle while bellowing madly. More vexing, though, are what we've come to call stingbats. Some hellish cross of monkey, bat and scorpion that travel in troops and harass us regularly. I fought one off as it attacked a porter and shot another as it fled, and from then on they targeted me. It's as though they can sense strength and yet resent it. And he goes on, there's another entry here titled The Rune Arbalesque. A dramatic spire, barely rising above the tree line, was the first of our great landmarks. Each side of it was once engraved with untold wisdom, but only the sheltered ruins near the base have survived the ages. The plants here grow thicker, as if feeding upon some gifts left by the ancient elves. Sacrifices of flesh and blood, no doubt. There's a few more entries here. The one is called the Plague Warden. This massive stone figure is a reclining elven form, covered in weathered boils. I suspect it is an effigy that served ritual purposes, such as absorbing the illness of some great king so he might live forever. The Forsaken City... The city in the foothills is a forest of small pyramids overgrown with vines, as with the funerary monuments of lost Osirian. It might be this was not a place of the living, but a realm of the dead. Initial excavations uncovered multiple stone tiers of fine architecture, displaying skill truly more advanced than the builders' primitive contemporaries. And the final entry here is the Stairs to Eternity. From the Forsaken City rises a staggering weathered staircase, carved into the mountain beyond, evoking mystical contemplation in all who would climb it. Beyond stands a great temple, whose haunted guardians feasted upon my comrades, forcing us to flee the savage sentinels. After he kind of goes over the notes a little bit, he's like, we do have maps of the area. It's kind of hard to piece things together. One of the strange things about Ukalam is that it is always changing, but from the notes here, I think I can put together a general direction where they might have been heading. There are some elvish ruins to the northwest, but it's quite a long haul to get there.
You got any horses?
It's like, well, unfortunately, because Ukalam is protected, many of the governments won't allow us to use automobiles or vehicles to go that way.
I
But
didn't ask for a vehicle.
As for horse.
Ask for a horse, you dumbass.
unfortunately, we don't have any horses or anything like that, man. But what I could do for you is see if the local government will allow me to drive you out a little bit to the west. Might be able to save you a day of travel. And we have a lot of supplies that we can also give you as well. Dr. Mohali gave me permission to give you some requisitions from our selection here.
All right, I take back my dumbass.
So, he can go ahead and give you the supplies that you need. And remember, it's like 11 or 12 at night. So, if you guys want to rest up, take a break, or head out right now.
I don't think I want to go out in the dark like that.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah, and probably rest up.
Yeah.
Although my guy would be like, okay, doesn't matter to me.
You're just like already walking out.
Goodbye, friends.
I'm home.
I am home. Rips off his Starfinder.
So
badge.
would my character know anything about this area? Do you think?
I think you'd be familiar with a lot of things.
I think from the map that I saw, where he grew up and lived would be. I don't know how far northwest it is of here, but it looks like it's west of where we're going.
In like the center of the continent, like the expanse, right?
Yeah. No, my people are from the maze, the Caleria maze.
Bunch of corn.
Do you remember where that is on the continent? Is that kind of...
It was on the west side, but near the middle, like west of the mountain range.
Yeah, so kind of the general direction that you're heading. No, you wouldn't really... You might see that land from your journeys, but this particular area, unless you wandered over here...
Closer to the northern steppes?
It's closer to the mountain range itself.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, cool.
All the while, Domash is having a rush of nostalgia being here, because he's been here before. It's just been a very long time.
To Terhalo?
Yeah, he's been here before with his dad. Like, they've explored, like, some of this, but it's been a very long time, so he's more or less... That's why
probably
he's not,
changed.
It's like he's trying... That's why he's not, like, really talking. He's kind of remembering where certain things were that aren't there anymore, or what's new.
Okay, yeah, because I'm sure, you came here...
And he's still kind of pissed at Rats, so he's kind of tuning him out.
Yeah. So, like, while we're hanging out, like, resting for the rest of the night, Rats is, like, nice. He's got his data pad that he's been compiling information on since the Drift Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And, he comes over and he's like, hey, guys, you got a minute to talk?
To everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To everyone.
Yeah.
But you could see that he's kind of got his body shifted to where he's like not directly talking to Domash.
I look up and like see that, and I just kind of like shrug, and I'm filling with like my knife. I'm just kind of like messing with it.
Yeah. Rats is like, yeah, I've been going over all the information we've been gathering so far, and I think this might be a bad situation, guys. When we were up there on the Drift Rock, it seemed like it was part of something much bigger, like a weapon or something. Some kind of technology that we're not meant to have. But now, figuring out that they found other bits of the same language here on Castrovel, like, I think maybe whatever it was broke apart and was scattered across the Pact Worlds, which means there might be a bigger piece of that weapon here. And it seems like this Dr. Paqual is going after anybody that knows anything about this Haquim Zom. Beyond just rescuing the doctors, I think we need to try and get ahead of this guy any means we can.
I second that, man.
Oh,
Why are you here?
I'm sorry, I'll turn in.
I was just sitting outside your room watching you talk.
What?
He's just like in the window, just like waiting for his biding his time.
He's got like a little water pail, like watering the plants outside the window.
Watering me.
Excuse me, can you pour some water on me? Thank you.
Pour some water on me.
So Kima, she's just kind of pacing a little bit. Like, rats. I don't know if you're onto something, but if you are, we might be in over our heads.
Yeah. We might be, but based on where we've been, we're the closest thing to experts that we got.
You don't think we have some kind of pull where we could get more help with this? I mean, you feel like they kind of owe us after that whole Drift Rock thing, yeah? I mean, we have resources. We could get help.
We are part of the Starfinder Society.
The more we charge forward, guys, I feel like the more I realize how little pull we have.
You might be right about that. They didn't really seem to care that they sent us out on into
Suicide
it.
mission?
Yeah, there we go.
What are we, some kind of suicide squad?
Snore.
Yeah, Norse. Well, no, we were going to go out there to mediate for between the two anyway. Norse sent us to recover
a box. Yeah.
That's not why that wasn't the only reason.
The Starfinder Society...
Kevin's right.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Starfinder Society wanted you to investigate what happened to Creole.
Yeah.
And then Gevelar's
okay.
Nor is the one who sent you out
That's what I mixed up.
to the
Okay.
Acreon.
Sorry.
Well, then never mind. That wasn't.
I'm getting storylines confused.
We all almost died. I don't know if I'm really ready for this again. But if we're all there is, I guess I'll go out there.
Well, Chemo, listen, you're not alone, right? We have us four. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but we've done it once. I feel like we could at least get through this part. We could do it again. We might be in over our heads, but it seems like that's kind of our shtick now. Underdogs, yeah?
Yeah. Like, I guess we need a oh my god, I can't think of words.
A thesaurus.
Yeah, I guess I need a we need a thesaurus.
To the library.
Are those native to Castroval?
They're giant books with legs that just scream synonyms at you. Domash looks over at Rats. He kind of Oi, I know we're not on the best of terms right now, and but I think now we can put that aside. We have bigger things to worry about. He kind of sticks his hand out.
Ratch just stares daggers at him. Doesn't really respond for a minute. It's kind of like the tension building as you hold your hand out there. You're should I take my hand back?
Each second you're like, is he going to take it, or...
And Ratch just says, next time, don't block the shot. I'm gonna turn in, guys. And he goes to leave.
As he leaves, Domash mutters, "Wouldn't be the first time," under his breath.
And EP says, "What's he gonna turn into?"
Oh god.
EP says, "I talk to plants."
Got my dad joke in.
That's Poe's thing.
Damn it.
Yeah, I guess I better turn in for the night too.
Do you even sleep? What do you do?
It's just Domash and Echinacea standing in the room alone.
But
do you even sleep?
But you gotta think Domash is he's kind of.
But you're from here, so you know.
Yeah, but not a lot about your race, all right?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm from Earth. I don't know everything about tigers.
It's true.
I could, but
So,
I'm not going to.
Yeah. So the rules don't say anything, but he says, sort of.
Well, I think you should try to get sort of sleep because we have a big day tomorrow. And he stands up and pats your shoulder and walks back to the room.
Yeah, he gets up and follows him to the room.
Hits his head on the door frame because they weren't expecting something 6'9".
Right.
Just crashes through it.
Seed pod goes everywhere. We're just gonna keep making those jokes.
So is he dead?
So it's the next morning, and you're waiting outside of the buildings, and there is Dr. Al-Nuaf, and he says, "Well, I was able to get permission, clearance to take you guys out at least 10 miles into Ukalam. But that is all the further that I was able to get. It's very strict here, what they allow vehicles and things to do. They want to preserve nature out here. So I will get those supplies put on the truck for you, and I'm ready to take you out whenever you are ready.
Domash walks up and, like, shakes his hand and goes, "Thanks for all you're doing here, mate. Really appreciate it."
It's not a problem, man. If I can help you track down these people and bring these doctors back, then we are glad to help.
Rat sticks out his hand to shake his hand. He's like, "You're stand-up nerd, friend."
Yeah, man.
You want a hit of this?
I do.
And he punches you.
Hurts, don't it?
So was there anything you wanted to do before you left, or...
Punch a baby.
We have a...
There's
Oh.
plenty of babies to punch here, man. Sometimes we get upset that punch babies.
Domash, again, before they set off, walks over to Rats, and he looks at him again and says, "Look, like, we need to work together here. Like, please, just... we can sort this out another time, but for now, old times." Like, and sticks his hands out. Both of his hands.
Both of them?
No. Jump into my arms. No, he sticks his hand out. Like,
Rats just shakes his head and whatever, man. Heads towards the truck. The safari truck.
he said truck's so aggressive. It's a monster truck.
It's like that scene in Ace Ventura. Hey, jitty jitty bang bang jitty jitty. And then, like, the doctor's just driving through the forest.
Yes.
Yeah, I head out to the truck. I'm as ready as I will ever be.
Everybody's in the truck.
Yep.
It's lowered down his echinacea.
Yeah.
How much do you weigh?
Not that much, I don't think. Like
You just like a twig.
223.
That's not bad.
They're not. Yeah, like from the picture, they're not really that. They're not that
There goes
thick.
everything. They aren't thick.
Thick.
Oh, look at that
Long and
thick
skinny.
ass.
Thick seed pod. Got 3 C's on that son of a bitch.
I am pretty old.
Chris
though.
is lost.
Oh, as Rats turns away from Domash, he's like, "Shotgun!" And he runs to the truck.
Domash just kind of like white, like runs his hand through his hair and like sighs and just walks up, sits in the back.
Echinacea goes looking for a shotgun.
It's a scattergun, thank you.
I was gonna say
Oh, that's right. In this game, it's not called a shotgun.
I'm already sitting in shotgun, so you just ended up in my lap. Like what?
I sit on your face.
Oh no!
I'm used to it.
Get off of me!
You get off of me.
Hey,
I just climbed to the back. You suck, Rats.
So you're in this safari jeep, and you're heading out. You leave the gates, pass through the 20-foot high wall, and you cruise out into the grasslands that just surround on all sides. And these things range from like 6 to 8 feet tall. I mean, it's very, very tall, and these things are just waving in the wind.
I feel like Echinacea hates this because it's like vibrating, so it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
literally like
Oh yeah, with the
loud
blind
noise
sense.
all the
Yes.
time while he's riding in this thing.
True.
So, what color is his seat pod? Is probably what you're going to be asking, and that
Yeah,
is.
we were.
I wasn't gonna ask that at all.
It's just
Top
like Poe's
question.
jokes. I can't wait to hear what color his seed pod is.
Does that mean when we get finished with Dead Suns, he's gonna have really good seed pod colors?
They get more vibrant. He gets more colors as he gets experience.
Yeah.
Well, level
Dark
6.
yellow.
Dark yellow.
Yeah. Like, you write that down?
Yes. I'm going to figure it out.
I could just ask him, but he won't tell me.
So after a short time, you get out about 10 miles, and the doctor gets out, and he says, well, these are the things that I have for you from our supplies. So I'll be happy to give those to you now, depending on who wants them. So he gets you guys the supplies, close up the chest containing those things, gets in the vehicle, and kind of says, now, I think it's probably going to take you about 10 days to get at least that far. Maybe more depending on what you run into, but hopefully you can make it. And unfortunately, you're going to be on your own unless you can find some kind of communications devices. I know that we're carrying some other computers and stuff with them, so maybe if you catch up with them, and if it's an emergency or something, you can give us a call. But we will be listening should you find that.
We're just the NSA. We're listening to everything you say.
And he waves and starts backing vehicle up and heading back.
Wait, we need all that stuff.
Oh, my phone's in there.
And he gets back and he's like, oh, shit.
They're probably dead now.
When Ekanesha got out of the car, his pod changed to a light green.
Gross.
Now he can blend in fully now.
Before he takes all the way off, Kima kind of runs up real quick to the driver's side door, and she's like, do you know what we can expect out there? And you can tell she's like really nervous.
Don't worry about the thing. If you keep your head on straight and keep your bearings and stick with your group, it'll be alright. There's a lot. People get afraid of the wild. And yes, there are things that you have to worry about, but don't forget to take a moment and enjoy the beauty of Ukulam. We preserved it for that reason. There's a lot of wonderful things out there.
As he's saying that, you look back and you just see rats walking off into like
Oh,
the
no.
brush, and it's like his amulet starts like there's like this little pulse of like little green electrical lines around him that just kind of brush the trees over him as he walks in.
And then you see Domash like, oh, just throws it.
Domash like turns back around and looks at Kimi and is like, "Oh, Kimi, I've been here before. Don't worry. It'll be fine."
Me too.
Are you guys coming?
Yeah, I guess we better get going. Thank you. And then she kind of heads off towards wherever Rats just disappeared to.
Yep. Following rats with his very good survival skills.
So, let's talk about some things that we're going to need to know going forward, just as far as game stuff. Your journey across Ukulam, you're going to be in a hot environment in the jungle. You're going to have to contend with very hot conditions, which means there's going to be checks. Now, your armor provides you 24 hours of environmental protection per level, so you guys should know what that level is. Those things have to be expended in 1 hour increments, so you could make it through a whole day, or you could just make it through half the day and then just rely on trying to beat those DCs so you don't take any heat damage. Generally, it's going to be about 12 hours per day that you have to worry about the heat. And the other thing is you've got a group ahead of you that you're trying to follow. You've got some options with how to navigate through this area. Mm-hmm. Under the survival check, you've got orienteering and follow tracks. Yes, Ryan?
The armor I have regulates my body.
He just said that.
I'm sorry. I was reading it twice.
What level do you have?
1.
Level 1. So you have 24 hours of protection.
I'm sorry. I was reading it, so I wasn't.
So anyway, with your travel, this is different from the core rule book. So what they do is once per day, you're going to have to roll a survival check. If you go with the orienteering to like use landmarks to figure out where you're going, it's a harder DC versus if you follow tracks, it's an easier DC. But the trade-off is the harder DC, you make a full day's progress. With following tracks, you only make 3/4 day progress. And if you fail either one of those, you only make a half-day progress. So there's...
Do we know the DC?
Yes. For orienteering, it's DC 18. And for following tracks, it's DC 12. So, a lot easier, but then you don't get as far. Now, because of the research that you found from Alabians and Dr. Solstarny, you get a +2 to your survival checks.
Do we get any bonuses for living here?
Because I don't think you're familiar with this area, because you were further west of here, I would say no.
Okay, cool.
Because what you're doing, you're trying to follow these landmarks, these tracks, so I think that would be, I don't think that would fall under that.
You auto get tracks, though.
Yeah. I automatically get the tracks one.
What, you would automatically succeed every time?
Yeah, he has a...
So you could do that, just know that, you're on kind of a clock here to catch up with this group. You don't know how far ahead of the, Dr. Al-Nawaf said that a day or two ahead of you. So, certainly something you can do, but in the meantime, what are they doing? And Domash's mother is
You have a
with
plus
these people.
10 then?
Plus 12.
So with the +2 bonus that he's talking about?
I would have to roll a 4 or lower to fail the other one.
Not bad. And
then
people could assist.
Assist.
I'd have to roll a 9 or lower to fail. At the other one.
To assist, it's a DC 10. So,
Yeah.
right? It's the same as Pathfinder?
DC 10. Yeah.
So how does Echinacea take the lead?
Here's this knife I have.
I feel like
I can talk to plants.
Yeah, I don't know that you would be able to follow visually.
visually no,
And that's...
but I feel like
This feels familiar.
he could like he's used to living out here.
Not
so
what I
he-
meant, by the way.
What?
I think you feel the area feels familiar, right? Or similar.
Yeah.
That's how you could lead. You could lead by like, I'm sure the fauna is
Or
similar.
I can literally talk to plants.
Hey, have these
But
people
can those...
come through?
So the question is, the plants that you talk to, can they see or...
The issue is, the plants can't see either. The issue is that the higher check is based on sight of things like monuments and stuff, or like
landmarks.
landmarks. That's what I'm trying to say. Of landmarks. So you can't make that check.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, how he would necessarily see the tracks unless he's, like,
I-
walking along and feeling...
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Also tasting.
Also tasting, because that's how I feel.
that,
I feel like he would be
that could
very
be a
sensitive
possibility.
to like different like
Looks like I'm making a lot of
So-
rolls here.
indents.
Well, your character is really making us think.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome.
So I would say you probably couldn't do the orienteering, but probably maybe the tracks by the scent.
Okay.
Kind of like a dog picking up the scent.
But yeah. Makes sense because of the fact that it's a third slower, you said, or something like that?
It's just 1 full day progress versus 3/4 day progress.
Oh, it's only... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not that much slower.
Yeah, but we want to gain ground on
Yeah.
them.
All right. Well, what's your guys' survival?
Mine's
Zero?
right now is +7. Plus the 2 he gave us would be 9. So I need to roll a 9 to get...
What's yours?
I think you.
+2 and then +4 with the map.
Okay.
Yeah, so mine's just a plus.
And then we can assist.
Yeah.
You automatically ate anyway,
I automatically aid.
Okay,
That's
so
fine.
who's rolling that? You guys gonna all aid, or
So
is
we're
it-
going to go for the
Monument.
The
right? And if I fail,
landmarks and
it's like
stuff.
half a day, though.
correct?
That's the thing. So I have an 11. Or as of right now, I have a +11 to this check.
Everybody aiding.
Well, that's without
Yeah.
them
Okay.
aiding it. I don't know.
Because I automatically aid.
I don't aid.
I do.
So it's a 13, so I need to roll a 5 or lower.
Rats is just like, I don't
You wanna
need your
roll
help. I can figure this out
Continually walks through a
myself.
bunch of plants.
I can figure this out myself. He walks off and then he walks back. He's like, I don't know where I'm going.
Yo, mate, just let someone who's been here before help out. All right.
He just,
He does a little tongue thing. He's like, yeah.
yeah, you got it.
14. So that's say like 27. I
Okay,
think.
so you are able to, following the map, you're kind of able to have a general direction picked out. Now let me ask you, what are we doing about the heat at this point? Is everybody going to use 12 hours to get through the day?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you make it through about another 10 miles, and it's nighttime again. You're sitting, not quite a full moon anymore, illuminating the area. Assume you guys set up camp, and
Question for the group. Do we want to travel by night?
I was actually just about to ask, do you want to continue going straight through?
We have a guy who glows to give us light.
Why are you pointing at me?
You have armor that glows.
Oh, yeah.
By the end of the day, Rats is like, I don't think so, guys. I think I'm good for now. I think I could use a night's rest.
Like me and Echinacea are like, yeah, let's keep going.
I mean, we could certainly do that. We'd have to look into forced march and things like that.
I was gonna say Kima. I don't think would be all about traveling at night, just because she's kind of creeped out with the place anyway. So
I feel like Kima's like the stepmom in Parent Trap. Like, she's not used to being out in the wild, and she's just
Right,
like,
yeah.
like all this stuff's like, there's bugs in my hair, and then we're gonna put her on a raft and push her out. When she wakes up, she'll fall in the lake.
All right, we'll just take it.
Oh, come on.
Never seen it.
Wait, what?
Damn, Alex, I was really hoping you picked that one up.
I wasn't paying
It's
attention.
not bad.
I'll pick it up from my local Blockbuster.
Joke's on you. It's gone. Oh, wait. Joke on me. It's gone.
So yeah, when I guess we decide to
bent down.
Yeah. I can't figure out my tent, so I just kind of like throw it and I climb into whoever is closest to me. So
I feel like I have my tent set up like immediately.
Rats takes out this like really high-tech looking box, and he takes one of his batteries out of his bag and plugs it in and sets it down, and it like unfolds
Oh yeah.
into this big like luxury tent.
Did you actually buy a luxury tent? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
You told us that last episode.
So with that in mind, Kima sees this and goes to his tent.
Can it fit more than one person?
Yeah.
It's locked.
Oh no!
It can fit 4 people.
I'm just sitting
I
outside,
plant
like
myself into the ground to get nutrients.
nice.
Do we make a fire, or is it just like a?
You can make a fire, yeah.
I mean,
Mobile
I say
hotel
that you-
ear tent.
how much did
That's
that cost?
fantastic.
It's not. It wasn't that expensive.
Really?
It was 100 credits.
Wow.
Doesn't that provide some like environmental protections too? For how long?
It uses a battery, so it uses one charge of the battery every 8 hours.
See, that works though, because you can use that, and he has a thing
then
that
you
recharges
have the- you
batteries,
just-
so
Yeah.
he can just continuously use it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Hey, rats, do you mind if I kind of squeeze in here?
It's locked.
Close.
Rats, I know you can hear me still, though.
No, thank you. I don't want any room service.
Okay, well, that's not what I wasn't offering.
You just start hearing beeping noises in there, like he's playing video games.
Okay,
Question: Can I make a check to build her tent for her? But while she's talking, so I'd be like, "Here you go."
I turn around.
How are
and
you?
it's just
How are
there.
you building it?
That's why I'm making a check.
He's using her tent, but
Trying to feel
folding
how
the tent out.
I don't know what kind of skill it would be, but let's go for it.
Tent building?
I rolled a 17.
I think the thing is Des is showing that her character is very inept at
Yeah.
being outdoors.
Yes.
It's not. It doesn't require a check to.
I feel like it would because I'm blind.
right.
Yeah, Domash is like,
Just keep throwing that in our face.
I'm getting really sick and tired of it, Kevin. All right.
Guys, I'm blind.
I can talk to plants. We're all sleeping, and Echinacea out talking to a tree, like leaning up against one tree, like, "Hey, so you come here often?"
The other chick goes, "You need to get off of me." That's my wife. It's my tree wife.
How well did I build this tent?
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
So I just
And then you
Nice
hear in
as
your
a
head,
shitty tent can be.
Kima, I built this.
so I slowly turn
It's
around.
made out of sticks and leaves.
It's just him, like, leaned over doing on his hands and legs.
This ground tastes terrible.
Wow. Thank you. Do you need to
No.
sleep? Okay. Well, thanks.
Rats opens the door, and he's like, "Hey, Kima,
Yeah.
actually, I will take some room service." And he closes the door again.
Yeah. Just kind of sigh and walk to my tent.
So the night passes, the sun comes up the next morning, and you're still in the tall grasses, and you're ready to make some more progress
S'mores,
across
I love
this.
s'mores.
Yeah, you eat the s'mores from the night before, and they're really stale now. And you guys are ready to begin your journey again, so I need another survival check.
Ooh, I helped you on that one.
Also, I'm struggling. I did not. I'm even struggling to like undo the tent. Like, Echinacea?
Rats like pushes a button, and his tent folds back into a box, and he's like, "Come on, Kima, get your shit together."
How about you help?
Yeah, like Domash already has his tent packed up. He like has the curved blade. Like he's just like kind of like chopping at some stuff, and he kind of like looks back. He goes, "I mean, I hate to agree with Rats at the moment, but he's right. We got a schedule to keep."
Yeah, that's great and all, but how about someone help?
I walk over, and then there's a
walk
leaf.
over?
I rock.
Stomps on it.
I walk over, and then there's a huge leaf right next to it, so I start folding that up.
This is your tent canvas.
Here's your tent.
I see.
Bunch of twigs.
I just kind of grab your arms and kind of just
delicious.
Guide me over.
I guide you to my tent.
I got a 4.
You destroy my tent.
He's a huge rip in it.
Also, I'm assuming it uses Dex, so that's a -1.
Oh no! It's how's it on fire?
He rubbed his hands together. It's hard to find it.
Echinacea's like, oh, oh.
It's like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Fire bad.
So what'd you get? You got a 26 on this?
26, yeah.
All right, so you're able to make another full day of progress, and as you kind of wind down for the day again, you notice that you're getting to the edge of this prairie, and a little further off, the jungle, the tree line starts to become very apparent to you. So you guys can rest here, you can rest in the jungle, play a game, whatever you guys want to do at this point. I'm assuming everybody expended another 12 hours of their suit at this point.
Yes.
Okay. And so, yeah, it's the sun's beginning to set. You can hear the trees blowing in the wind, and you hear a few distant birds kind of go. Maybe you see a couple of critters like whip into the grass real quick. You can't quite catch a glimpse of them, but you see the wildlife all around you.
Listen, guys, I'm not looking forward to going in there, but the sooner we get this over with, the better. Can we push through a little bit?
You can, like, go through, like, the night?
Maybe a little bit, like, maybe not all night, but I don't want to stay out here longer than we have to.
Domash, I guess he's, like, setting his tent up, like, he's finishing setting it up, and he kind of, like, stands up and, like, brushes his hands off, and he is just totally flexing on Kima about his tent building skills. He is, listen, no one's in more of a hurry but me, but trust me, you don't want to rush into these jungles. You want to take your time and be prepared, because this place could eat you alive. And I'm not just saying that as like figuratively. It'll literally eat you alive. There are plants that will eat you here. So, like,
he's right.
I know you're like in a hurry.
Right.
But
if you were dead, I'd eat you.
You look. I tasted you earlier. It tasted really good. It tasted like chicken. But like, he puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like, "It's okay. We're fine."
All right. Can someone build my tent for me?
You see the door on Rat's tent close.
Hey, Kima, I didn't get the room service yesterday. I'm just curious on what's up with that. Leaving a 1-star review on Space Yelp.
I go to help her. 18 to help you. I
imagine that he doesn't use the tent poles. He just like does that thing, and then he just puts the canvas over himself.
I'm the pole in the middle.
I imagine by the end of our trip, Kima's tent is going to be completely destroyed.
I
and
know.
It's just going to be Echinacea holding a giant leaf over her all night.
So you guys rest for the evening. You hear the howling of some animals in the distance as you kind of drift off to sleep. And then the next morning, you wake up once again, and you've been out here for 2 days now. Kima, you're still alive, still doing okay. Imagine Domash has got to be feeling like, yeah, I'm right at home. This reminds me of...
he's pretty happy right now. It's good to be back in his, like, familiar environment.
This is probably a little, for Rats, like, used to being in, like, cities full of electronics and stuff. How does Rats feel about this? Is he keeping up with what he has with him, or...
Rats has been on Absalom Station for maybe 2 years. Before he lived on Akiton. So he's used to hot temperatures.
Okay, so he's used to the environment, but as far as, like, what he, does he really have an interest in being out here in the jungle, or is this just kind of like, well, this is where the mission's taken me, I have to be here? I mean, how is he
Rat's
mentally?
main motivation is his family. Mm-hmm. Ideally, he's doing all this to help bring his family to somewhere that's safer than Akiton. But now that he's finding out that there might be a giant death weapon out there that could destroy planets, possibly, he's kind of worried for his family's safety overall, because if everything gets blown up, then his family gets blown up. So he's trying to save everyone, essentially. So he's brought along enough creature comforts to keep himself interested.
Okay.
While he's resting, I think.
Yeah, I just couldn't imagine him kind of walking around like Domash, maybe, like looking at the trees, like, oh yeah, I remember. But as long as he's got enough stuff with him, he's
it's basically almost a forced march for him every day, but he gets to hunker down at night and just like play games on his data pad or on his visor and shit. So,
and during the day he's playing Pokemon Go.
No, I hate Pokemon Go.
Yeah, me too. What's the is it a 24-hour night-day cycle?
Yes, yeah. So, it's the morning of the third day. You're standing on the...
Third day?
You travel for 2 days at this point.
Technically,
Oh,
well,
okay.
it's
Yeah,
technically the fourth day, but it's the third day of his traveling.
Correct. So, the third day of travel, in the morning, imagine you get your gear put up again, and you're standing at the edge of this jungle now. Before, you were walking through some tall grasses, but you still had pretty clear view of everything because the sun is right over your head. Now as you're peering into that jungle, it gets a lot denser. It's harder to see the further you go in. You can definitely see critters and stuff flying about in the trees and stuff.
What's the DC for the fortitude save?
For heat,
Yeah.
I believe it's DC 15 plus 1 for every previous check.
Oh.
So every hour it becomes more and more difficult.
Okay.
And then it's D4 of non-lethal heat damage.
Okay.
So, with that in mind, does anybody have environmental protections left? Or is everybody level 1? Or
Yeah, it says I have 72 hours worth of
Where does it say
environmental protection.
Oh, okay.
I just looked up my thing. It says I still had 96 uses left.
96 uses of...
Environmental protection.
Okay.
I just looked
So,
it up because I was curious.
Is that per hour?
I don't know.
To me, that sounds like that would be as per hour. Because
Where?
you expend them in hour
I
increments.
have 96. Yeah.
So I would think that's 96 hours.
So we've expended 24.
Correct. And this is day 3, so now as you continue on your journey, you have to decide, do we keep using this? Do we tough it out at some points to try to stretch this over our journey? It's kind of what you have to balance.
I'm good. What kind of armor do you have?
It just says light armor.
Do you know what the name of it is?
No.
It's probably still second skin.
Second scan. There you are.
So that's
It
level 1.
says 24 uses.
Okay. Oh boy.
Ooh, so
Oh,
Kima
boy.
is out.
She's stripping and going to that.
Well, you'll
How
still
many-
have to make those saves. It's just you don't
gives
get
you a
the...
+2, I believe.
For what?
That hot climate
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, for the hot weather outfit?
Hold on. I have it on here.
We used 24, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have 96 uses.
Extreme gravity.
Okay.
Heat climates +2 circumstance bonus to fortitude saves against environmental heat dangers.
So that'll get you through. That's 4 days total.
Yes. It's 40.
But it would actually be, I guess, 8 days if you use 12 hours per day.
Yes.
The only way to recharge that is to find somewhere that's not in the
Starship.
heat.
No.
Yeah, that was my understanding, is that you get that much protection and then it's gone until you're able to get some back someplace.
You have to recharge it. And they said a lot of it's like Starship. You're like starships can do it, or there's like a specific room,
Oh, to recharge the environment. Okay, so civilization.
basically.
So yeah, Kima is out. So you're stripping off the armor and putting on the hot weather.
Yeah, the hot climate.
Okay, so you still have to make those checks, but you get a +2 to that.
Okay.
Okay. What do you want to do?
Do I have to make that right now then?
It's per hour, right?
Yeah, it'll be once per hour.
So you make 12 checks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do them all at once though. We'll kind of go throughout
I mean,
the day.
Domash made it clear we need to go,
All right, so
and he's ready to go.
so everybody else, I'm assuming, is ready to go, and yep, you head into the jungle, and as you get in there, you kind of get some sense of relief. The sun's not beating down on you, but it is still hot. I mean, it's basically like trapping all that heat within it. Yes, and you make your way through for a couple of hours. So I would say go ahead and roll me 2 checks on that.
That's not gonna do it.
All right, so you're going to take 1 point of non-lethal damage. Make sure you note that it's heat too. And then give me another check.
What's the DC?
So what do you get?
DC
What's your fortitude
15
save?
plus 1 for each previous check.
So
So,
this
now
would
it's going to be
be
DC 16.
I'd say 12.
All right, you take another 3 points of non-lethal heat damage.
Is that coming out of my stamina?
Yeah, I believe that's the way it works. Just note that it's heat related.
Okay.
So at this point, Keem is feeling
Yeah.
kind of hot,
So great.
pretty sweaty. But at this point in your journey, you look up and you see a pack of these really giant-sized animals. I've got a picture of it right here for you.
Oh God.
What the hell is that? Hold on, can
Can
I
we
like
make
see
a
it
check?
close up?
Yeah, is there a
On
check
this?
I can make?
Yes. So let me kind of describe the creature. This is like a six-legged. It's kind of like a dinosaur
Like a
in
long
shape.
neck almost.
Yeah,
Like one of
it's
those.
kind of like a dinosaur in shape, but then its head goes into like I don't know, like a ram or a goat looking thing.
with an anteater nose.
And yes, and give me a.
Do you know why that is?
It's life science.
Do you know why that they have that anteater nose? Because there's giant like anthill formations
Oh.
around
Huh.
here, like huge.
Well, that's a natural one.
What are we doing?
Life science.
11.
I got a 16.
I don't have that.
15.
15, 16. You don't have that?
11.
All right. Yeah. You're not really sure what this thing is. In all your travels,
I don't think I've been like this far.
but
Or what a fucking one.
what you notice, like as they're milling about, is they're kind of just quietly moving from tree to tree, and they're eating off the leaves on the ground. So, what you kind of notice here is like the path that you were following goes right through where these guys are. So you kind of feel like this is the direction that the people you're after went, but you're starting to slowly see these tracks in front of you start to disappear as these creatures walk back and forth and kind of step
no.
on them. What do you guys want to do?
Run.
I kind of want to go around, but that's...
I was thinking about going around too. I was gonna say we could go around and try to find the path again.
Yeah.
I just don't want to run and risk. How many you say there were?
There's just a
herd
pack of them. Yeah, I mean 10, 15, and they're just milling about and they're just eating the leaves and the foliage.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that they're hostile, but
They could still like stomp
they could
on
get
you.
yeah, they could get startled and attack us.
We're just gonna
so.
go around.
You're gonna go around.
So-
Okay, so if you go around, if you circumvent, it's gonna add a full day to your journey. This is what your choice is. You got the direct route. You can go straight through here, make better time, or you can go around to avoid this area, but it's going to cost you a full day's journey.
How tall are those things?
I think they're about 12 feet tall.
they're not as big as I thought they were.
Yeah, I'm fine with going around.
Yeah, Domash is gonna turn around and go, alright, so we have a bit of a decision to make. Now, we can continue on this path and continue right through this pack of animals, or we could go around. Now, from what I can remember from the area about reading about it, it'll add about a day to our journey here. So, I'm gonna put it up to a vote. I don't like adding time, but I also want to be safe, so I'm gonna vote to go around.
Rats just eyes their huge feet. He's
He has
like,
a foot fetish.
I'm not too keen on getting squashed by those things. I'm fine with going around.
Kima's fanning herself with her hand, and she's like, "Listen, I'm not meant to be out in this kind of heat. I want to go through. I don't want to add time to our travels."
I know it's pointless, but I turn and like look up and I go, "Well, big guy, seems like you're the tiebreaker here. What do you say?"
Let's go around.
Son of a bitch. Very reluctantly, Kima goes.
All right. So you head around. Give me that. Now, you're going to have to make a whole bunch more of these checks.
Yeah.
And with heat-related non-lethal damage, you can't heal that until you get out of the heat. So you would have to wait till nighttime. So
This is off of stamina?
yeah, it's going to start at stamina and go to hit point damage.
Good thing we have a healer in our group.
I wonder if I can do anything about that. Hold on. I have a feat called Medical Expert. Let me see if I can do anything about that.
The question is, if you have enough to heal her at the end of the day,
I can't... Well, yeah. Every day you can just regain your hit points. Oh, wait, no, because it's the heat. I can only heal hit points. I can't heal stamina.
We get stamina back after resting, right?
as
No,
long
because
as you're out of the heat.
The heat's different.
So at nighttime,
That's what I'm saying.
it would cool off.
Oh,
So-
duh.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's why I was like, "You're gonna rest at night, my guy."
Yeah, okay. Yeah, every day you would just get that back. So, but
Every day.
would the DC still go up?
Yeah.
Once you get to the next day,
It starts over?
It would start over.
Okay, cool.
So
So
in this case, kind of a moot point. So you go around, you rest for the night again. You wake up the next day. Give me that check again.
So I got a 50.
Natural 20 wasted on an aid.
So I need to roll a 3 or higher.
1.
It was a 4.
Oh, jeez.
Alright, it was a 19.
36 hours.
So I got it by 1.
So as you're circumventing this jungle, you come to a point where the edge of this jungle meets a river. And you see that there's a bridge probably about 100 feet from you. Would you guys rather jump across the river or...
Going to
Can we
Terabithia.
inspect this bridge?
You
How
may-
steady does this thing
You
look?
may inspect the bridge if anybody has... this would be engineering.
No, I'm out.
I definitely don't have that.
Natural 20.
He knows everything about
Rats
the bridge.
knows who built
knows
this
who
bridge.
made it.
It was born. Or it was born?
29.
So, yeah, with this bridge, I mean, you can tell this thing is ancient, very, very old, but it seems pretty structurally sound. You should be able to cross it pretty safely.
How deep is the water?
Well, not only is there...
Water?
The water's probably about 15, 20 feet deep, but there's also a drop down about 20 feet before you even hit the water.
Yeah, something's in there. I ain't gonna risk that.
I mean, the bridge is relatively safe. If we go one at a time, I'd say we'd probably be able to save a lot of time here.
Yeah.
I'll go last.
So that's
He's gonna
probably good.
fall through and be like, he's gone.
He's dead now.
Domash just shakes his head and starts walking towards the bridge.
Ladies first.
Okay.
He gestures in front of him, all right, there you go.
All right. And she are there
natural.
sides that she can kind of hold on?
Yeah.
What kind of bridge is this? Is
It's a
this
stone bridge.
Okay. All right.
Oh, stone bridge. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing's awesome.
So, yeah, she kind of just puts one foot on it, and although Rat said it was pretty sturdy, I just I try and see if it moves at all, and I'm like, okay, all right, I can do this. And then I just start slowly going across. I'm just really afraid that she's really afraid she's gonna fall.
So you inch and scoot your way across, and you make it no problem.
Okay. Hey guys, it's fine. I made it.
A giant bird comes down and grabs her.
Squirrel.
I guess Rats will go over next.
Oh, see, Domash kind of looks at him, and he's kind of nods his head, you gonna go?
Yeah, and Rats walks out a couple of, he gets halfway and he does a little jig.
And the bridge collapses.
But he walks across.
Domash turns to Akane. She's like, all right, mate, see you on the other side. And just
Jumps on the river.
jumps in the river. Down he walks across.
Yeah, he waits for Domash to get to the other side and walks across.
So you're starting to walk across? Mm-hmm. All right. So you start walking across, and all of a sudden you hear this thundering coming from behind you in the jungle.
Oh no.
And you see a couple of those creatures that you saw from the day before rush up towards the bridge. And at this point, you're kind of I'd say halfway across. And one of them gets right up to the bridge and puts his foot right on it. It starts to shake and shudder beneath you.
Can you run?
How wide across is this?
How wide is the
Yeah.
bridge? It's about 50 feet.
50?
Yeah.
How
Oh.
tall are you?
6'9".
Shit. Just fall. Just fall forward. We got you.
It's not Groot. He can't just grow
I
his
know,
arms
right?
out.
Or
You
can't.
should be Groot.
Yeah, you should be
Okay,
Groot.
I turn into Groot.
You turn into Groot?
Yeah.
Okay.
See you next week.
He just seen you next week, Chris. How do you feel?
Okay.
He's calling the shots now.
Make sure to check out our website at adventureawaitspod.com. There you can find links to our Facebook and Twitter and keep up to date when we release new episodes. And a big thanks to Sirenscape for providing music and sound effects. Check them out at sirenscape.com, where you can revolutionize your tabletop gaming experience.